Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I'll be showing you how I created this kind of like alien hive something. It's actually really quite simple. You can see the nodes is very basics, and there's not that many. But I think what's interesting is really the algorithm behind it. I call it the Noodle Algorithm. I figured this out in SphereChop. It makes it really easy for you to quickly sort and then connect dots. So I started with something like vector p, for example, and this will create lots of dots, right? Just a bunch of points. So what happens if you connect all the dots? If you connect all the dots, and the easiest way to do that is either using UV connections. You can do it this way, I believe, and you can also use Polyline Viewer. Polyline. So with Polyline Viewer, you can have a curve. So give these nodes any kind of points without sorting it, and you get this kind of pattern, almost like a noodle. I said almost like a noodle because with noodles you have like a loop for each one of them, and if you want to make like a loop, you have a. I'm not gonna do that for now, but what's interesting here with the vector p field, if you sort this out using vector sort, you're gonna have a different result. Now, the one that's interesting here with the vector sort, this is actually an algorithm in itself. In order to do this, you need to have polyedge. For polyedge, we can use this KD3 closest edges. So it's gonna create edges based on the closest vertices. All right. So now we have this kind of result. It's actually quite interesting, and we can use Remesh on top of this curve. So you don't need too many nodes after all. The one I created earlier actually generate a polygon mesh. This one is using curve, and then I use Remesh to close it. So this is how I created that kind of alien hive, kind of like connected, kind of like a melting noodles. So this is Noodle Algorithm version 1. So this is kind of enough to do the job, but if you want to use a proper polygon, you can use Bevel curve and just use this. You know the drill. This is I think I've done this many times. So Polyline Viewer, create curve, Bevel curve will create polygon mesh. It's always a really important thing to know in Blender. So curve and polygon are two separate objects, but they are really quite related and kind of interchangeable. Supposedly, with something like SphereChop, you can turn curve into mesh and mesh back into curve. Basically, that's what's going on. You can make it cyclic even here. But I really like how Remesh works on top of everything else. This is the same result. And yeah, besides what you see here, you can also shuffle the list. level maybe need to be level 1 or level 2. Yeah. So you can shuffle the list, or you can kind of shift the list as well to randomize the result. And you can replace the vector P field with anything. Sphere, donuts will work as well if you like. So torus or torus knot, you can start with anything. This is a donut. Since it's already shuffled, the donut looks just like a sphere. So if you don't actually shuffle it, I believe it creates a shape of donuts a little bit more, because the KD3 closest edges will find the edges that's closer to each other. So that's something to know. There's actually another algorithm that's not doing this crisscross. It's just only find the closest edges. That's really, in the past it was called BTrace add-on that simply kind of trace and find the closest points. I believe this is kind of similar to that, but I'm missing something. I forgot. Maybe I should reduce the number of points here. There we go. This is more like BTrace, which is also kind of interesting, that we can do this quite easily. Right, this is quite something. I actually find out about this quite by accident. All right, I quite like this. So hopefully you find this useful. Let me know what you think. So I call this Noodle Algorithm. Used to be called BTrace in the past, but yeah, it's really quite interesting. All right, hopefully you find this interesting. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.